Hunt gets a Blu-ray release, Eureka Entertainment announces their new August slate, and Jack Ryan Season 2 is announced for Blu-ray. All this and more in the latest edition of the Physical Media Report. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Physical Media Report. I am your host, the mid-level critic Ken, and we are here today to run down everything new and exciting in the world of physical media, Blu-ray, 4K releases. We're going to run down some news, some stuff that's been announced to come out in the coming months. I'm also going to discuss the things that are coming out this week, and to be honest, guys, it is a bit dry this week, but we're going to get into it later. I've also got some Q&A questions that were submitted by you guys on my Instagram story yesterday. I've got the deals of the week. I've got the top 5 Blu-rays. So all that and more, guys. And let's get right into it, guys, with the news. So Eureka Entertainment, for those that are not familiar with this physical media distributor, has announced their August slate. They've got 3 titles that are coming out in August. And I'm not too familiar with Eureka Entertainment as well. I don't think, in fact, I know I do not own anything from them. That might change, though, come August, because The Man Who Laughs, which is a classic film from the 1920s, is being released by them, and that edition actually looks really nice, which I'm going to post it up there in the corner. I may in fact be picking that one up, so that one's kind of piqued my interest. They've also got 5 Graves to Cairo that is coming out, and I have not heard of that title. And they have a Buster Keaton 3-film collection coming out. So some exciting stuff coming from Eureka Entertainment in August, and I thought you guys should hear about it. So next up, guys, the popular Jack Ryan show on Amazon Prime is getting a Blu-ray release, and that is coming out on August the 4th. Now, I have never gotten a chance to check this show out. I've heard it's pretty good. A lot of people like it. So I'm sure that's going to do well when it comes out on Blu-ray. And I'm sure there's plenty of you guys out there that are excited about that one. Another one that I found to be pretty interesting is a new Kino Lorber title. And it's coming out on August the 25th. And that is Hollywoodland, which, for those of y'all that don't know, this movie came out in 2005. And I know that I have seen it. I just cannot remember that much about it. I know it stars Ben Affleck, Adrian Brody, back kind of in the Adrian Brody heyday back in the early 2000s, and it's centered around the old Superman show in the 1950s, I believe. So George Reeves' Superman. Yeah, I remember that film vaguely, but I don't even remember if I liked it or not, to be honest. But the cover on it looks pretty cool, which I'm going to go ahead and post up there. Also, guys, another thing that I found interesting is I guess that the Bloodshot Steelbook has not released yet at Best Buy, because they have now put that up to be released on July the 14th. So for those of y'all who missed out on the Bloodshot 4K Steelbook, that should be coming out on July 14th at Best Buy, is what Bluray.com is now reporting. We've also got another couple cool steelbooks that are coming out in the month of July. We have the Airplane Steelbook, which they are also getting a Paramount Presents edition coming out in August, I believe. But that is getting a regular steelbook, and it's not saying that it's a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, so I'm guessing you can buy that anywhere on July the 21st. Also on July the 21st, we have a Clueless Steelbook coming out as well. So Clueless is also getting a special edition soon, but they're also getting the Steelbook, and that is not a Best Buy exclusive either. You can get that anywhere. So a couple of cool Steelbooks coming out, and I really like the design on that Clueless Steelbook for sure. The next one, guys, I'm going to talk about is You Don't Know Me, which is a movie that just came out on VOD. It is a documentary of the film Showgirls, directed by Paul Verhoeven. So that should definitely be an interesting documentary. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch it. I've seen Showgirls. It's been a long time. That movie is completely ridiculous, but yeah, I would kind of be interested in seeing a documentary of that for sure. But that's coming out on July the 21st on Blu-ray. And also, guys, these aren't new announcements. They were announced maybe a month or so back, but I haven't really covered them on this show before. And since we're kind of light on news this week, kind of light on Blu-ray releases, I thought I would go ahead and kind of cover these cover these again if you might have already heard about them, but just kind of remind you that they're coming out, and they're kind of 4 prominent Scream Factory titles that are coming out in the next couple of months. So the first one, we got Kiss of the Vampire. That is coming out on July the 14th. I do not know anything about that film, but I'm definitely interested in it. The cover looks pretty cool. We also have 13 Ghosts coming out on July the 28th, which I do remember this film, and I actually remember seeing that film in theaters back in the early 2000s when it came out. I was still in high school, probably the 10th or 11th grade, and I honestly don't remember loving that one that much, but I would be interested in revisiting. I know it has Matthew Lillard, but I would definitely be interested in revisiting that one. So the next one, guys, we have Phantom of the Opera, which is coming out on August the 11th. Have not seen that one either, but definitely a cool cover and interested to check that one out. We also, another one, guys, from the early 2000s, a horror movie that gets a lot of love nowadays. I see this actually posted a lot, reviewed a lot, people checking this one out again, and that's Ghost Ship. And that's coming out on September the 29th from Scream Factory. That cover art is amazing on that one. And I do remember that movie for just the beginning alone. And if you haven't seen the film, I'm not going to spoil it, but for those that have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That opening scene to that movie is horrific. It's just horrific scene, but it's awesome. And yeah, I can't remember much about the entire movie as a whole, but I do remember that opening scene. So those are 4 really cool Scream Factories that are coming out soon that I thought, I'd go ahead and run down again for you guys. So saying that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the top 5 Blu-rays of the week. And we have Justice League Dark on Blu-ray is actually the #1 Blu-ray film, and we're going to get into why a little bit later when we go into the deals, but that is the #1 Blu-ray for last week. Number 2 is the Top Gun 4K, another reason why I think we're going to find out when we go into the deals a little bit later. But that's interesting that those are the top 2. Star Wars Episode 9 is still hanging around in the top 5, guys. People are still picking that movie up. And that is number 3. The Blu-ray version of that is number 3. Also, guys, the Harry Potter collection, number 4. So Harry Potter collection still hanging out in that top 5. We also have Titans Season 2 is number 5 on the list as well. And we're actually going to go into the reason why for that here in a second. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So the deals. So first off, we have the Justice League Dark movie is on sale right now for $9.99. So that movie just came out a couple of weeks ago. So that's really interesting that they already dropped the price that low. And that's almost a 50% drop for that movie. So, and also Titan Season 2 is $14.99. And the Top Gun 4K is now $14.99. Makes me wish that I actually waited a couple of weeks to pick that up. But, I kind of wanted it right there so I could review it and everything for you guys. So I'm not too sore about it, but if you guys have waited a couple of weeks to get that Top Gun 4K, I would definitely jump on it now because that is an amazing 4K presentation. It looks phenomenal, and it's just a great movie, so definitely jump on that one. Another one, guys, is we had the Birds of Prey 4K, which I also bought a couple of weeks ago. It has dropped from, I believe it was $27.99, and it is now $19.99, so that is a really good deal for a movie that just came out a couple of weeks ago. And also, guys, brace yourselves for a second because I know a lot of y'all are going to get super excited for this one. We have Cats. The Blu-ray is now $14.99. So for those of y'all that were waiting on Cats because you just couldn't muster that $20 price point, it is now $15. So it's probably still not worth it. So don't grab Cats. Wait till it's like at the Dollar Tree maybe for $1. That it might be worth it then. Another one, guys, is a movie that came out on Blu-ray about a month or so ago, and that is The Gentleman. That is $14.99 right now. We also have one of my favorite movies of 2018, The Favorite, is $9.99 right now. So I would definitely jump on that deal. The Favorite is a phenomenal movie by Yorgos Lanthimos, so definitely check that out. We also have The Way Back, the Ben Affleck drama / kind of sports inspirational movie that came out. Actually, the last theatrical movie that I have seen still. And that is $14.99 right now on Blu-ray, so that's a pretty good price considering that came out a couple of weeks ago. We also have The Rhythm Section, which is $12.96 right now, and that came out a couple of weeks ago as well. Not as well received or reviewed, and it didn't do well in the theater, so I'm not exactly sure how that movie is. I haven't checked it out myself. But $13, if you're interested in, that's not really a bad price. We also have Pan's Labyrinth, which is a great film from Guillermo del Toro, and that the 4K of that is now $17.96, so that is a good price for that 4K. That is one that I actually might jump on myself since it's kind of cheap right now. I might go ahead and get on Amazon and order that. We also have Hansel and Gretel, which is a horror movie that I saw earlier in the year, and it wasn't terrible, but it's $14.99 right now, which is a good price for that, I think, if you're interested in the film. So that does it for the deals, guys. So before I get into the new releases, guys, I'm going to ask you guys, please, if you are not yet a subscriber of the Mid-Level Media channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and turn on the bell notifications so you can be notified every single Monday when the Physical Media Report goes live at 3 o'clock. And also when I do my unboxing videos, my weekly horror show on Thursdays at 3 o'clock, The Haunting of Mid-Level, and just any other content that I might be posting. And if you can, guys, there's a little button down there. There's a little thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, like the video so it can get out there to more eyes and viewers. I would really appreciate it, guys. And you know, why not, guys? It takes 2 seconds. Just hit it. Just hit that thumbs up button. And go ahead and comment down below, guys, anything that you think looks interesting in the things that I've covered today, anything that you plan on picking up this week, anything that you have picking up in the past week, just any physical media based question, pick up anything you want to talk about physical media, go ahead and comment down below and we'll open up a conversation to talk about. So next up, guys, let's go ahead and talk about what is new this week. And to be honest, guys, it is looking very grim this week. There is not a lot that is coming out, and I kind of saw this coming about a month ago when I started this show, and I'm like, God, June and July is not looking good as far as physical media, and we all knew it was going to get bad because there's not been any new releases in theaters, so we knew the big releases were going to slow down. But I think enough things on VOD have been coming out that through the June and July months, we're going to be seeing some of those titles pop up on Blu-ray. So there's going to be stuff to talk about from week to week, but we're not going to have those kind of big blockbuster theatrically released films to talk about that are getting all the special editions and Best Buy and Target and all that stuff. We are not going to have that for the foreseeable future, probably not until at least November or December, just based on the fact that movies are probably not going to come back until August or September to the theater. Let's be honest, let's be real about it, and it could even be later than that. So, but we got stuff to talk about, guys. We've got the smaller titles, we've got the boutique retailers that are doing remasters and re-releases, and there's always going to be something to talk about in the world of physical media. So we're going to keep this show going anyway, guys, and we're going to cover what is new this week. And the big release coming out this week, guys, is a film that was very controversial from last year. It actually got pushed to this year, was released in the theaters for one weekend and then went out on VOD. And I actually bought this movie, or didn't buy, but rented this movie on VOD, and I quite enjoyed it. But The Hunt from Universal is coming out on Blu-ray tomorrow. I don't know, since I've already spent $20 on the film, and I thought it was good, but I don't know if it's worth buying again for $20. So I don't think I'm going to be picking this up. But this is the big release that's coming out this week. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen the film, I think it's worth $20. I think it's worth picking up. It was a good time. It was fun. If you like these kind of horror, kind of action, in the vein of the Purge kind of movies, that's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit. Also a little bit of Ready or Not. It was a little reminiscent of that film, just with a different setting. But yeah, it was a fun movie. I actually have a review for it up on this channel if you want to go back and check that out under my review section of the channel. But the next things up, guys, is we have Kino Lorber is actually kind of killing it this week. They've got some stuff that's coming out, and they got a film noir 3-film set that's coming out. They also have a Westerns classic 3-film set that's coming out. So definitely kind of check those out and see if any of those movies are something that interests you, because the packaging definitely looks really cool. They also have My 20th Century, which is a foreign film, I believe. I haven't really done a lot of research on that, but I think it's a newer film, and Kino's releasing that as well. So we also have a Criterion coming out this week, and it's called A Unmarried Woman. So I haven't heard of this film, but it looks pretty cool. And for those Criterion enthusiasts out there, I'm sure you guys will be excited to pick up another Criterion set. So are there any Doctor Who fans out there? Because the series 12, the 12th season of Doctor Who, is coming to Blu-ray tomorrow as well as We Summon the Darkness, which is a little horror indie movie that stars Alexandra Daddario. And that actually came out on VOD a couple months ago, I believe. And I got sent a review link for the film, and I actually reviewed it on my horror show, my weekly horror show, The Haunting of Mid-Level. So I do have a review up on this channel as well as my Instagram for the written review. But I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I don't know if it's worth $17 pickup, but it's a fun horror movie for sure. If you're interested in those kind of lower budget movies, it's not terrible. Like, it has good production value, and the performances are pretty decent as well. Johnny Knoxville's in the movie also, and he's pretty good in it. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Just don't know if I recommend the $18 price point that I'm sure the Blu-rays have, but. We also have Canary Row, which is a Warner Archive title starring Nick Nolte. That is releasing tomorrow from the Warner Archive. And Princess Caribou, which is a Shout Factory release starring Phoebe Cates from the 80s, I'm assuming, because that's when Phoebe Cates was her most popular. We also have Think Like a Dog, which stars Josh Duhamel and Megan Fox. So another dog dying movie, probably. Another SAG dog movie is coming out on Blu-ray tomorrow. So if you want to sit down with your family and cry your eyes out and have to explain to your kids what death is, go ahead and buy Think Like a Dog. I'm sure it'll be a fun time for the whole family. But let's go ahead, guys, and after that, guys, I want to get into. Unfortunately, this week I'm not going to have a new releases portion of the show because I did my Jaws. I showed off my Jaws last week on last week's episode, and that was my pickup for last week because I got it early. And I didn't pick anything else up last week because I've kind of been spending a lot on all those Tom Cruise 4Ks and just a bunch of stuff that's been coming out. So I kind of took it easy this past week. I might get in there this week and pick up some things, maybe backtrack and pick up some Scream Factories or Criterions that I've missed out on or something like that. So I'll have some stuff to cover on next week's episode. So nothing new this week for me as far as what I've purchased, but let's go ahead and get into the Q&A portion of the show. And I got some really phenomenal questions this week. I like all of these questions, and they're questions that I haven't been asked before, to be honest, so I'm excited to get into them. So the first one, guys, comes from the Film Collector UK, and he asked me, what movie would you like to be released in 4K? So that's an interesting question. It's one that I actually have a couple of answers for. The first one is True Lies, which is a classic movie that I haven't seen in a long time. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, James Cameron film. That movie hasn't had a Blu-ray or 4K release. It is still only on the DVD format, and I'm pretty sure I still have my VHS of that one, but it is only on the DVD format, has not received a Blu-ray or 4K, and it desperately needs the 4K treatment. I think it would look incredible, and I really just want to watch that movie again, and I definitely want to watch it in HD, so that is the one that's probably on the top of my list, and I think it's on the top of quite a few people's lists as well. The other one, and I don't see why we don't have a 4K of this yet, is The Exorcist. I mean, The Exorcist is my favorite horror film of all time, and we got my second favorite horror film of all time, The Shining, in 4K, but we have not yet got The Exorcist in 4K, so I'm hoping to see an announcement for that soon. I've heard some rumors, some rumblings here and there, as well as True Lies. A rumor for True Lies came out over a year ago, and it still hasn't been officially announced. So those movies definitely need 4Ks. Another one I will say that already has been announced and is coming out this year is Back to the Future. I've been waiting for that on 4K forever. So those are the two that are probably at the top of my list that I can think of off the top of my head. But the next question, guys, comes from Netflix Reviews, and he asks, what is the movie that you have purchased the most times? So double dipping. So because I have another question coming up, I'm going to save the one that I purchased the most times for that question because they're kind of the similar, just asked in different ways. But as far as double dipping, like I used to double dip on every single Marvel film, a lot of the DC films, like just movies that I really liked from a couple of years ago. I would buy the Target versions and the Best Buy versions. So I have the Target Best Buy versions for Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, pretty much all the Marvel and Star Wars films. Also Ready Player One, Wonder Woman, just stuff like that. Like I bought like both the Target and Best Buy editions. I don't do that much anymore because I've kind of started to realize that I just want more um, different films in my collection, if that makes sense. And I don't have like unlimited funds when it comes to purchasing Blu-rays and 4Ks. Like I do have a budget. I do attempt to budget myself from week to week. So I can't just go out and buy 15 versions of a movie when it comes out from all the different stores and all the exclusives. I know there's a lot of you guys that do that, and I am definitely envious of that, but I cannot do that. And I've just found that I want more. I just want more films. I want more different kinds of films. I would rather buy, 10 different films than 3 different exclusive sets, which would probably equate to the same price, if I know how to shop and I'm doing my bargain shopping and stuff like that. So that's just me, though. I mean, I just want a bunch of different kinds of films now. I'm kind of in that spot, and I don't do the double dipping that much anymore. So the next question, guys, comes from What Daniel's Watching, and he asks, is there a movie that you need to have all formats of and special anniversary editions? So the answer to that is I do have one movie that I will continue to buy all the special editions for, anything I can see when I see it, and that is The Shining. So I have the VHS of Shining. I actually found this at a Goodwill a couple of years ago, and it's in pretty decent condition, but I was happy to find it because I have it up on my kind of memorabilia shelf up there. And I found this at Walmart, and this is a really cool cover a couple of years ago. It's the Monster Mayhem editions, and this is the DVD of The Shining. So that's a really cool release right there, with the twins on the cover. And I still haven't opened it, but that's a cool DVD cover inside. So I do have the DVD of The Shining. And I also bought this from Walmart as well. This was the Warner kind of Icon series I think they had, but this is the Here's Johnny Blu-ray cover of The Shining with this iconic image on it as well. But this is a really awesome cover. Like, this is one of my favorite covers, Blu-ray or not. And I only bought this for like $7 at Walmart. And it's a freaking, all of these covers, the Warner, which I think they've just put them back out at Walmart for a while. I know they just did last week for mine, but they don't have The Shining anymore. You cannot find this one. So I'm really glad I got this one. I did. And the last one, guys, for The Shining is the 4K of The Shining. Now, I can't say that I bought like every exclusive anniversary edition, but if they release like some kind of anniversary edition of The Shining, I'm probably going to buy it. I didn't buy the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, so I can't say, or the FYE exclusive Steelbook, mostly because I'm not too into Steelbooks anymore. So yeah, if I was a true completionist, I would have bought all those. So I can't say that there's too many movies that I buy like 10 versions of just because I want them all. But that is the one that I have the most of, which kind of answers Netflix's question as well. But yeah, guys, so that is it for this week's edition of the Physical Media Report. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I hope you had a good time. So one thing, guys, before I go ahead and get out of here, I want to go ahead and promote and plug my twice weekly Levels of Geek live show that I do on Mondays and Wednesday nights with @Ultra HD Geek on the Ultra HD Geek channel. So that is every Monday and Wednesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we get on there, we discuss movie news, we review movies, we do top 10 lists, we engage and chat with you guys in the chat room. So we go live every Monday and Wednesday nights. I would really love for anybody that is a watcher and supporter of this channel to head on over to that channel tonight and support us there and kind of talk with us and engage with us in the chat. The past couple of weeks have been super fun doing the show. A lot of people have been coming in there. We've been talking, we've been laughing, cutting up. It's just a really casual show, and it's something that I love doing. I just love talking about movies, and it's just a cool place to come and just talk about movies with guys that aren't like super experts in film or anything. So I definitely wish that you guys could come check it out. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and show you all a clip from the show. Just a quick 1-minute clip just to show you what it's like. So maybe you can see it and, possibly want to come check it out. So go ahead and roll the clip. Let's do it.
What's the hashtag?
It's
Make Solo 2 happen.
That's right. Make make Solo 2 happen.
Where did these people come from? Nobody even went and saw Solo. Like, where is this? outcry for a Solo 2 when you didn't even go see the first one.
You know, these are the people that bitched and complained that Rian Johnson destroyed Star Wars. Like, oh my God, he destroyed it. Boo, boo.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that clip. So you can also follow me on Instagram at Midlevel Movie Reviews and at Midlevel Media. And you can also follow our Levels of Geek Instagram page and check out our new website, the Levels of Geek website. So a lot of the content I post on Instagram and YouTube now is on that site. So you can definitely check that out as well. And with that, guys, thank you for joining me this week on the Physical Media Report. I really appreciate it. And go ahead and like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, check out the Levels of Geek live show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see you next time.